I'm Dr. Toni Hatton at theattractivethinker.guru. I'm a vision expert. I show people how to shift from cloudy to clear. The two areas that I focus on is mindset and wellness. Now, I've connected with a private chef, and she's going to share her story in a minute, but the reason I did that was because...
She doesn't like to say that for some reason. I am her daughter.
Yes, we are mother and daughter. This is private chef Kristen Hatton, and I'm Dr. Toni Hatton. And we've come together. You know, Kristen had the idea. She was like, Mom, well, let's just, you know, share our gifts with the world together. We work separately. We both have separate businesses, but we decided to come together because together, you know, and I hope that you're getting something from this as well, from our story and from what we're sharing. Together, you can accomplish more. So my passion is to show people how to shift, make the positive shifts in the mindset. See, we all talk about change and getting to another level and the things that we desire to do with our lives, but there's an inner game going on, and if we don't know how to play that inner game and make those necessary adjustments, we just continue to find ourselves stuck with the same old repetitive goals year in and year out. So I'm a vision expert, and I deal with the mindset, you know, shifting from repetitive goals to repeated success. There's certain tools that have to be in place. You need mental tools to strengthen a mental muscle, just like you need weights in the gym to strengthen your physical muscles. We need mental tools to strengthen a mental muscle. And this is Private Chef Kristen. So Kristen, tell us why you created, what was the premise behind your idea for Lifestyle of a Food Lover web series?
Well, I was single, and being single, I only thing I could really do is eat, sit by myself, and watch movies. And I realized that I loved food, so why not date my food? The original idea for the series was going to be dating my food, and then I realized I loved more than food. I love movies and wine and going out, and I love introducing people to new restaurants that are beneficial to your body. So you can have your cheesesteak, but why not try a vegan cheesesteak or try vegan mac and cheese and stuff like that? So I decided I would like to share my lifestyle as a foodie because I love food and anything involving food.
She really likes food.
Yeah, no, I love it. Like, I love food. If there were like 6 things that I couldn't live without, all of them would be food. So that's pretty much how this series got started, and I will be posting when I find new things that I enjoy. I will be showing you those things, and we'll go from there. This is my first time doing a video, so don't mind me. I'm a little nervous.
But see, this is the deal here. This is why we created the web series. We're going to address you as food lovers because this entire web series will attract food lovers, people who love food and people who have challenges with their food. You know, Kristen wrote a book, Lifestyle Recipes, Changes You Can Live With, to end the food tangle. What is the food tangle? When we're wrestling with our meals, you know, like skipping meals because we're not sure what to eat, or, you know, eating things that we shouldn't, eating things that cause bloating and gas and weight gain. A lot of people are trying to eliminate excessive weight. You know, there's a lot going on in our country around food, and most of the time we are sabotaging our wellness goals every single day, every single meal. With every bite we take, we are sabotaging our wellness goals. And this is why it's important to get the tools that you need to implement and support you with getting closer to those wellness goals. So Kristen wrote this book, Lifestyle Recipes, Changes You Can Live with fantastic recipes that you can enjoy. Let me see, how can I say this? Taking the same foods you love adding a little twist to it and making them work for you versus against you, because everything is based on a relationship. So she shows you how to have a healthier relationship with your food. So Kristen, share with our viewers, how did you enter into this food journey, you know, this lifestyle of a food lover, this love for food, this passion for food that you have? Tell us about how you got started, your journey through that, because there were some obstacles along the way.
Well, she was pregnant with my littlest brother, and I wanted it to be a girl. It was not a girl. So she was put on bed rest, and my dad can't cook. We were eating things out of boxes for a couple weeks, and I found a cookbook in the house, and I think the first meal I made was
black and shrimp with linguine.
Linguine or fettuccine?
Yes, linguine. Trust me, I remember.
So black and shrimp with linguine, and ever since then I started cooking all the meals in my house. So 10 years old, you know, you can barely reach the stove and everything, but I realized I enjoyed cooking. Every Thanksgiving I would go over to my grandparents' house and they would be cooking, and I'd be asking my grandmother, how'd you make this, how'd you make that? And throughout the years, any school project, granted we were homeschooled, but any project that we had to do, mine always involved food. So I went to culinary school, first 2 years, got an associate's degree. Then I went back to a different school. I got another associate's degree, and then my bachelor's in culinary arts management. So that's pretty much been my whole life revolves around food.
So share with our viewers, what was your expectation after college? Because everybody has these big expectations. They go to college, they get the education, they're in the field, you know, of their area of study, and they just expect the world to just like open up, and now they're like, they add it. They got their goals, they know what they're gonna create, that they're anticipating this amazing life. So share with us what happened after you graduated and how did you get here?
My expectation since I was probably 10 years old was that I would go through school, graduate high school, you know, go to college, graduate with my master's in something, work for a couple of years, save up money, pay off loans, get the best career that I love, just working like for a chef that's working like 80, 90, 100 hours a week. So I was completely fine with that. And then after that, get married, have kids, you know, the dog, even though I don't like animals, the white picket fence, and retire in like another country. And none of that has happened except for the degree part. But I didn't get the master's, though. I got the bachelor's. May get the master's. But that's where the mindset part comes in, because not only is my mom a coach, she's sort of like my coach, even though I don't want her to be sometimes, but there is a big mental shift that you have to do to get out of the system of the system that we live in, pretty much. Because as of right now, I should be like engaged according to the system, and I'm just sitting here telling you that I like food. So that's something that I had to overcome mentally, because it used to make me sad. Like, oh, I'm, you know, young, single, all I do is work and eat and come home. But at the end of the day, that's okay for right now. It's okay for me not to know where I want to go in life right now. All I know is that it has to involve food. Whatever I do with my life, it has to involve food. And that's okay for me to know just that. So
absolutely. You know, viewers, food lovers, I hope you're really getting into this story that Kristen is sharing, because there's so many of you food lovers out there who are experiencing these kinds of things. I mean, you go to college, you go to school, and you work hard, and you just have your dreams all laid out, and you just anticipate certain things are going to happen. One of the things that I realized, because, you know, I'm not too much far from your age, and one of the things that I realized, and we all go through this, is that when we plan our lives, we don't factor in life. We never consider that life is going to happen in the midst of us planning our lives.
That's my problem. I plan. She will tell you, I plan, and if my plans do not work out, I kind of have like I don't want to say a mental breakdown, but I go a little crazy because I'll literally it'll be something crazy like I'll have my plan for the day and I'll write that all down. This is what I'm going to do today. This is what time I'm going to do it. This is who's going to be involved. This is how I'm going to do it. And if anything comes in the way, like I would really go off the handle for a little bit, and she'll have to calm me down and be like, it's okay. So doesn't it always work out for you?
Yes.
And it does always work out for me. But
so I hope you're getting that piece. You know, we're sharing our story. This is a heartfelt story. We're not professionals. We're not actors. We're not interested in entertaining you. We're interested in supporting you and from getting where you are to where you desire to be. Real stuff here. Real people sharing real stories, you know. So what Kristen is saying is that in the midst of her plans, life happens. So the question is, how do you handle that? How do you handle it? Now, if you have a victim's mentality, you're going to look at it as nothing good ever comes my way. I knew it was going to be hard. Nobody in my family has ever done this. What makes me think I can do anything different? I thought I could just accomplish my goals. I did the right thing. I went to school. You know, I got a good education. You know, I graduated. I have my degrees, and I expect to have this fabulous life. And it didn't show. It just didn't like poof manifest the way I thought it would. So now what do? So what you have to do is keep the right perspective, and it all goes back into believing who you are. So Kristen, you also had a journey of self-development and growth, and how has that benefited you? I mean, we all have to go through this journey, this process of growth, personal growth and self-development. So I mean, like you say, I'm a vision expert. This is me. This is who I've been all your life.
Yep. It's like you can't even be negative or like cry around her. It's one of those things like Mom, I'm having such a horrible day. She's like, well, you need to get up and you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm like, well, I just want to wallow in my misery, so I'm not going to talk to you right now. Click. So I'll ask you a question now. How did you get to this I don't know what to call it, this mental state of mind, whereas you're always, you know, positive? Obviously, everyone has their down days, but how do you bounce back from
That's a
being
great
low to
question.
high?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I had this defining moment in my life. You have to get to a point, food lovers, whereas you're tired of going back and forth, waffling back and forth, tired of being high, having those high highs and those low lows. You have to get to a point, and I had to get to a point in my life. I just got tired because, see, I'm a positive person. I want great things out of life. I'm confident. I know that I can have great things out of life. But like I was sharing with you, the listening audience, when I was talking to Kristen about, you got to factor life into that. Life is not going to knock on your door and hand you a life just because you decided to get a life. Life is not going to stop, you know, showing up in your space just because you decided to get a life. Life happens to all of us, you know. So I had to realize, I got tired of being at those highs, like I can do this, I got this, I know what I'm going to do, I'm going to map this out, I'm going to accomplish this, by this date, this is going to be done, that's going to be done. And then life got in there, some things started happening that distracted me. I kept losing focus, and here's the deal, when you're a positive person and you know what you want out of life, when things happen, like people call you throw a monkey wrench in there, when things happen, sometimes you can get depressed and overwhelmed and sad, and after a while, you just, you know, pull the covers over your head and you're just done. And I got tired of doing that. I found that I was losing time. I found that I was losing weeks at a time, because I could be down for like 3 weeks. And because it's discouraging to know that there's a purpose for your life and know what you're supposed to do with your life, and you just can't seem to get a grip. And you just feel like every time you think you got it and you're making progress, something else happens. The phone rings, or somebody comes over, or you get something in the mail, or somebody wants to pull you into their drama. You know, I had to shut doors, so many doors. I had to walk away from so many people. I had to unfriend and delete and block. Think about that. All of this stuff that we have to do. Stop answering the phone all the time. Stop going out and eating chicken all the time. You know, because that's what we do. Every time we gather, we want to go eat, but we're not talking about anything. We're not making any progress. So I got tired of all that. You just got to make an assessment, start removing some people, places, and things so you can come into alignment with the goal that you have, or you get stuck in the pursuit. always pursuing, never manifesting. And I just got tired of that. So I had this defining moment. You know, I had planned to go to this meeting, and I was really inspired. It was my first time being there. I was going to be introduced to some incredible things that I felt as though would launch me forward. And something happened. Something happened that really just made me really heavy and sad and discouraged. And usually I would just get back in the bed and say, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to go to bed, and tomorrow's another day. I'll try to deal with, you know, life again tomorrow. And this time, I don't know why. Because see, that's the beauty of personal growth and development. You don't know, food lover. You're developing yourself, you're investing in yourself with books and listening to people, just like you're watching this video right now. You never know when something is going to click inside of you and shift you to the next level of your life. I hope you got that. So I had this defining moment. I had a choice. I had a decision to make. I could have, you know, reverted back to my old habits, which is my old habit and pattern is just calling it a day, you know, shutting everything down, getting into bed and waiting for tomorrow. Or I had a choice to face that opposition, press through my old pattern and go to the meeting anyway in the face of adversity and call that a day. So I decided for once in my life, and it was a January, I'll never forget, to go to the meeting anyway and press through the cycle of going back and just letting it all go, getting into bed and forgetting about it. When I pressed through, I broke the chains of that off of me. And when that happened, for example, when I pressed through, showed up at the meeting and did what I was supposed to do, even though I wasn't feeling it, I was heavy, I was sad, even though I was going through all of that, when I pressed through, I broke something off of me, and I never experienced that like that again. So when you talk about why am I so positive, I realized that it cost me too much to fall into negativity and depression and feeling unworthy and undeserving and not good enough. It cost me too much. After you get into that space, you fall back into that space, it takes you a while to get back into your positive, happy, action-driven, passionate self. Would you agree? Because you've had these experiences. I've coached you through so many things, and I'm really proud of your success because you've implemented what I've shared with you, but your way. You may not have implemented the way that I was sharing it, but you have to implement it your way. So what is your experience with personal growth and development and working on that mindset?
Well, I'll say some of the things that I like to implement is just simple quotes. You know, you get on Facebook or you get on Twitter or Instagram or whatever social media application you use, and sometimes people just post quotes, and I could be in a funk and just scrolling through my phone or on a computer, and I just see a quote that, you know, helps me feel better or makes me feel as though I can get through my day. Sometimes it's not about getting through the week or the month or the year. Sometimes you just need somebody to say something or see something or do something just enough for you to get through the next hour, through the next day, to keep you focused on what you know your end game is. And honestly, I am still a work in progress. I am still on my journey. I don't think it's ever going to end because there's always something for me to learn, for me to do, experience. Like your mind, like the brain is a powerful thing. There's always, it can always expand. Like it's not going to stop.
You're endless. There's no end. That's what you're saying. There is no end to the brain. That means there's no end to your personal growth and development. Remember I told you I had one of my clients say to me, I'm not grown, I am growing. And she's in her 40s, so we're not grown, we are growing. And we're excited to be growing. And you know, for all the food lovers watching right now, you know, just take an assessment of where you used to be and where you currently are and celebrate yourself because you are growing. So let's get into the food part. Lifestyle of a food lover, meaning you love books, you love movies, you love theater, you love music, you love food, you love restaurants, you love dressing up and just going out, doing a girls' night out thing, and even the single thing, because you go out by yourself sometimes, a lot of times.
I take myself to the movies, I take myself out to dinner, I do everything. Well, I'm the type of person, if I can't find anyone that I want to be around at the moment, I will do it myself. I don't have to wait around for someone to do it for me. So
That's awesome, and you know what that's saying, that you have a healthy self-image and a healthy self-love. And you know, for all the food lovers watching right now, I hope that's inspiring to you, because a lot of times, I want you to understand something. Time is so precious, and it's something that we cannot get back. A lot of times we waste time waiting on the right moment, waiting on the right person, waiting on the right opportunity, and that is years. You can spend years doing that, and time that you cannot get back.
I have a habit of doing that still, just waiting until everything is perfect, which is one of the things that I had to overcome today, starting these videos and this web series, because everything is not perfect right now. Like, I mean, we're just kind of ad-libbing and setting up shop. We have the camera stacked on some books because my mom forgot the tripod this morning, so we're just making it do, because
Yes.
like, she called me this morning, she's like, are you ready? Do you have your script, your intro, your outro? I'm like, no, just come over here. I'm gonna put my glad rags on and put on my face, and we're just gonna have fun and just do whatever, and just, I don't know.
You know what that's saying to our viewers is that you have to start right where you are. A lot of times we feel as though it's what we don't have that's holding us back. Food lover, I want you to understand, it's what you do have that's going to launch you forward. So like Kristen said, yes, this video camera that we're using today, I forgot the tripod, so it's stacked up on her cooking books, her recipe books from college, right? And it's stacked up on some favorite movies, some DVDs that she loves. And that is the honest to God truth. I wish I could turn the video around and let you actually see that. We forgot the tripod, and as you can see, you know, I'm gonna shake the table a little bit. Did you see the video shake? So now you believe me, it's not on a tripod, right? So we decided, you know, she was like, Mom, don't worry about forgetting. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Because what we're trying to do is introduce people to who we truly are. We're not actors, we're not here to entertain you. We're here to inspire, motivate, and push you into action.
And share what we do on a day-to-day basis to get through all the many obstacles that are thrown our way. I guess the basis on it is to show you how we eat. I love food, like I said, and we enjoy our food. We eat healthy, you know, like I have this 80-20 rule, so 80% of the time I'm eating what I know I should be eating, and then the other 20%, you'll probably find me at Lido's Pizza or Pizza Hut, or eating a family-sized bag of chips, which is probably, no, it's not good, but I know it'll, you know, combat with the whole 80-20 thing. But just knowing what you're eating, and where it's coming from, and making a conscious decision to eat that particular thing that's set before you is the first step. So I always tell my clients and people that I encounter to be a conscious eater, whether you're eating something that's good or bad. Know that you're eating what you're eating.
Absolutely. So I had an experience that I'm going to share with you, and Kristen had an experience as well. So my experience was today, you know, like Kristen said, we eat pretty healthy, and you know, using that 80-20 rule, what that means is we include moderation. We don't say, no, I don't eat this and I don't eat that. You don't want to say that you never will eat anything, right? Because you never know when you're going to find yourself in a situation that might be the only thing that there is to eat, right?
You may end up having to eat a tree branch or a bug, or well, I was watching The Walking Dead the other week, and they had to eat these dogs, and I asked my little brother, would he eat the dog, and he said no, but I said I would eat the dog, because I'm not going to starve. That's one that I'd rather get bit by a zombie and die than die from starving.
So that gives you an idea of, you know, you hear people talk about all of these restrictions. I'm this and I'm that, and I don't eat this and I don't eat that, and this is what I do and this is what I don't do, and then you end up, you see this weird picture going on that you feel as though you can't, you know, accommodate in your own life. So I got up this morning and I had a taste for something sweet. Now I love chocolate. I just simply love chocolate, but it has to be the right kind of chocolate. I can't eat chocolate that makes me feel bloated, that gives me gas, that makes me feel sad, makes me feel like I sabotaged and betrayed my own values. Listen to me closely, food lover. If you're eating food and it makes your feet swell, you can't get your shoes back on, can't get your rings on, you're bloated, you feel guilty, you feel like you've sabotaged your wellness, this plan, then you've eaten the wrong thing, because food is supposed to give you energy. If it saps your energy, you got to make some adjustments. So
in other words, what she's saying, if you get the itis after you eat, then it's not a good thing. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the itis feels good, especially after Thanksgiving, or you had a bad day and you get your favorite food, that that burger from Five Guys with the Cajun fries and like a Dr. Pepper. It's like the best thing, but that feeling is basically your body slowing down. And after a while, you keep having that feeling. It does not feel good. Sometimes, I'm out and I'll eat something that I didn't necessarily know what was in it. When did this happen to me? This happened to me, what did we eat? Was it a cupcake? We had a cupcake. I was driving. I was with my mom. We were coming from somewhere and I had a cupcake. Now, I've been doing cleanses throughout the years for probably about, 10 years now?
Yeah.
So I try to do them at least twice a year. So my body is not used to sugar. I'm a salt fiend. I love salty, crunchy things. So I don't really do sugar. I do it every once in a while. But I had a cupcake and I was driving the car. I didn't realize that it was so much sugar in the cupcake. I literally felt like I was going to pass out at the wheel. I had to slow the car down. Like, I kept driving, but I was very lethargic, and my mom's looking at me like, what's going on? It could have been like I was drunk.
I was shocked. She had threw her head back in the seat, and she was like, she was like euphoric, like in this zone, or she was like just get ready to just melt away onto the floor or something.
Yeah,
I was like, what just happened? She was like, Ma, I don't feel. She was like, what? And it's the sugar.
It was a feeling of being drunk, high, and tired all at the same time.
Because we don't consume sugar like that.
Exactly, and that's one of the things you have to, when you get to know yourself.
Yes.
Not just the food that you eat, your life, you realize the reactions that your body has to certain things. You're able to take note, and you're able to say, hey, I can't do this, or I need to find a better way to do this, or have this. So
I think that reaction was the overload of sugar. It was just too much. And here's the deal, food lovers.
and a cupcake.
And a cupcake.
It was like a bag of sugar in one cupcake.
And you hadn't eaten the whole cupcake.
I had taken like 2 or 3 bites, and it was like literally 5 minutes later. I was out, still driving, but I was out. I wanted to pull over and go to sleep
because we had a business meeting to go to, and you didn't even have the mindset to continue throughout the day. We had just got started.
Yep, it was probably about maybe 1 o'clock.
Yes,
we were on our way to a business meeting, and we had to sit in the car for a minute for me to get my mind, my body together, so I wouldn't go in there looking crazy. So,
right. So that's what happens when the brain encounters too much sugar. The brain just falls asleep. It goes into overload, just puts you in a comatose state. When children consume sugar, they get hyper. When adults consume sugar, they get sleepy. So a lot of times, if we're on sugar, you hear me say on sugar, because sugar is a chemical.
It's crack.
It's
crack in a bag.
It gives you the same effect.
And it's good.
Yeah, and that's what we're saying. We're not saying we don't like sugar. Sugar does taste good, but we've adopted some healthier versions of sweeteners that do not sabotage. They don't make you feel lethargic. You're still in your right mind. You still have the energy to function throughout the day. You're not gaining weight. Because these are all of the effects of consuming too much sugar. We're talking about that white sugar. There are other ways to sweeten your food without sabotaging your wellness goals, and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
We're here to help you make that shift.
And let me say this really quickly. I find myself having to say this to a lot of my friends, because they're like, they'll call me, oh, what'd you eat? I'm like, oh, I had some fruit, I had banana. I may have done a stir fry or Brussels sprouts or kale. Kale is my obsession right now. I'll do anything with kale. Salad, kale chips. And they're like, oh, well, I don't like kale. I don't like that stuff. And I'm just like, well, don't say that you don't like something until you've had it in its best form. I mean, this particular person, he had kale chips out of a bag from a Rite Aid or something like that. How can you say that you don't like kale chips until you've made them freshly in your home? Which is one of the recipes that I will be sharing throughout this series. But you have to really analyze how you eat. why you eat certain things. Sometimes, you know, for women, it's that time of the month. You got to figure out why. Hey, why are you craving that particular thing?
Exactly.
You know, are you sad? What's going on in your life?
Exactly.
Why are you eating this way? But you have to be open to trying new things. I've had plenty of people where I've made food for them and they didn't even know that
It was
the
healthy.
food that they were eating was healthy. They thought I had cooked it in neck bones and pig feet.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it had the, you know, the same flavor, and which is another thing. I'm gonna keep going. But I think I told you this maybe a couple of years ago. It's just, it's not the food. You have to season your food.
Yes.
Like,
Because people don't really like the food. They like what's on the food.
Which is just like, if you craving chicken, take that same seasoning that you would have put on some deep fried chicken and put it on, you know, maybe saute the chicken or something, which is another thing. She's into sauteing her chicken now because my little brothers, they like everything fried and coated with flour and grease, and she started sauteing it. I mean, she burns a little bit, but you didn't hear that. So, but I mean,
they call it burn. I call it
not,
when the seasoning is just really
no.
coated on the chicken. And okay, they
She
call it
can't-
burn.
she can't
But my
cook.
19-year-old son was scraping the seasoning off of the pot and putting it on his
But
chicken.
then what did he say after that? He said, "Oh dang, that wasn't seasoning, that was burn." But yeah, it's just it's as simple as, you're not gonna go get a carrot out the ground
Yes.
and, you know, bite it off and say, "Hey, this is good." No, you're gonna get that carrot, you're gonna peel it, you know, wash it off, you're gonna dice it, maybe even just throw some seasonings on it, maybe some olive oil, salad dressing, or add it into something, and then you're gonna like the carrot. Now, if you had, I like to tell people to try a particular item in 3 different ways. I mean, you can do more than 3, but at least 3 different ways to see. Now, me, I will say I do not like peas. You can't make me eat a pea. I will pick peas out of fried rice. I know I don't like peas because I've tried pea soup, I've tried peas by themselves and like butter and seasoning, and I've tried peas in fried rice. I can tell you I don't like peas. So at least try your food
That's a
in
good
different forms
Yes.
to see whether
Before
or
you
not.
say you don't like it.
Exactly, especially if it's something that's healthy for you.
Yes. Yes.
Now I could see if you were saying, "Hey, I don't like
Chitlins.
Doritos or chitlins." Oh my gosh, chitlins smell so bad. They smell
Yeah,
so
I'm not
bad.
gonna try them in 3 different ways.
Yeah, we're not gonna try. We're not gonna try chitlins in 3 different ways because I just never got past the fact that,
They stink.
well, they stink, but it's intestines.
stomach,
And
yeah.
then I've seen people cleaning them and they cleaning like flies and stuff. But anyway, we're
I'm
gonna
not gonna
try
try that in
it.
3
Yeah,
different
or
ways.
something like, I don't like Doritos. Well, we're not gonna try all kinds of Doritos, you know. But I'm
Right.
talking about broccoli, salmon. You know, even, you know, shrimp or crab or mackerel or tuna,
Duck.
duck,
Think about
kale,
some of the wonderful things that you've introduced to your friends.
quinoa is like #1 for me right now. Just alternative sugars, agave nectar, brown sugar. Sometimes just squeezing fruit juice into your tea or whatever you're trying to sweeten up will help. But just trying things.
And you gotta be open.
Exactly.
You gotta be open to that.
Exactly. I had this particular friend, same friend I was talking about a minute ago. He said he didn't like kale, and I was like, okay. Well, I made a sweet potato hash, and I added in kale, and he yelled at me when he saw me adding in the kale. He was like, "I'm not gonna eat it now." Well, he ate the whole pot. So now he calls me. He's like, "Oh, when are you gonna make that sweet potato hash again?" I'm just like, "Well, I'll just show you how to make it eventually." But now he loves kale. I mean, and he may not want kale by itself, but
Right.
now we know we can incorporate kale into
That's
some of
real
his
good.
meals,
That's
and
a
that's
good
a
tip.
way to get in
Yes.
kale.
Yes. Because we have to eat healthily. Living people need living food. We have to eat healthy. Think about that, food lover. There is a way to incorporate, you know, some better ingredients in your favorite dishes. And Chrissy, you really, really specialize in that. Like my sons love macaroni and cheese. And Chrissy can really, really make that macaroni and cheese that's suitable for me to feed them because they love macaroni and cheese. You know, change the pasta instead of white
Change
pasta.
the pasta, change the
Cheese.
milk, the cheese. I can't have dairy. I eat dairy. I'm not supposed to. It's not a good idea for me, but I'll do vegan mac and cheese, you know, almond milk, rice cheese, whole grain noodles, that type of stuff. And it just season it just like you would season your regular mac and cheese, and it tastes the same, if not even better. And you don't feel as heavy. You know,
or
when
guilty.
you exactly. You know, sometimes even if you do try foods in different ways, sometimes you just gotta make up in your mind, like, hey, like, say if you're dealing with something like, for me, it would be something like my iron levels are low, or whatever. It could be diabetes or something like that. Trick yourself into eating the food. I remember when we were younger, before we were like, you know, so health conscious and into all this stuff, and you know, mentally, you even still, when we would come home from school and we were, you know, coming down with something or whatever, you'd be like, okay, go in the kitchen and get some ginger and garlic, raw garlic. And I had to trick myself. I would get a piece of bread, I would chop up raw garlic, like 5 or 6 cloves, I would fold it up in the bread and eat it like that. Like, sometimes you just have to be like, hey, I gotta get this stuff in to feel better. We're not supposed to be sick. I don't get the common cold. You can ask any of my friends. I don't get the flu. I haven't had the flu since probably I was 10 years old. So it's been over 10 years that I haven't been sick. You know, when flu season comes around, everybody's getting shots, and I'm just sitting there looking at them like, well, I'm not getting a shot, you know, so I don't need to take, what do they, I don't even know what they take for colds. NyQuil, Z-Quil, Benadryl, what?
I don't know.
One of them,
Theraflu.
One of them wills, I don't know. So I don't take that, I take supplements. I take vitamins and supplements, and that's another thing. Even though your diet, you know, may change and you're eating, you know, the right things and stuff like that, you always need to supplement your food with vitamins and minerals, because the food that's grown nowadays is not the same as the food that grew back when you were a child or our grandparents were children. So it's nutrient depleted, and the soil is very much so depleted. So it's how do you say this?
There's no
It's mandatory, pretty much. You can have the best diet in the world.
Eat all the fruits and vegetables you want and still not
or be vegan. You know?
Yeah, that's true. A vegetarian.
There are unhealthy vegans, unhealthy vegetarians. And weight is not
an indication of health.
Exactly. You know, you see sickly size zeros. I don't know what that is.
I don't know, but I always say that, and I hope this is encouraging you and inspiring you and taking the stress out of eating, taking the stress out of reaching your wellness goals, because health is not a size, food lover. Health is not a size. Health is a state of being. Think about that. If you're healthy, your bodily systems are functioning in balance, and your blood pressure is balanced, your blood sugar is balanced, and you don't have all this excessive weight going on, then you are healthy. I haven't taken prescription drugs in over 20 years, and I mean no prescription, no over-the-counter, no nothing, because we use food as our medicine. And we have a family of 6, and you remember when we were getting the flu, it would just run throughout the entire house.
There was a cycle. It was literally like you knew the order that the flu or the cold or whatever it was.
You knew who the weakest link was.
Exactly. The weakest link was my youngest brother. So it would hit him first, then it would hit my father, and then it would hit the middle, Christopher, and then it would hit
you or Kevin, and I was usually the last one where I didn't get it at all.
Exactly. And if Kevin wasn't there, it would be like dangling between me and you, and then I would most likely get it first, and then she would get it or she wouldn't get it, and then we would all be, you know, taking stuff or whatever, and you know, we would all get better. But it was so like it was. If I saw the person before me sick, then I tried to stay away from them because I knew it was coming to me next. I be
Everybody
spraying
has to buckle
Lysol and all that stuff. So
yes,
yeah.
you have to take measures, and that's the thing, food lover. You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to what's going on with your body. Your body is speaking to you every single day. So what we learn to do is keep our immune system strong, and that's what's designed. You have something built in to keep you from getting sick. You know, it's called an immune system. But in our country, we've lost confidence in our best friend, our immune system. That's what's designed to keep us healthy. So if you focus on keeping your immune system strong, your immune system will focus on keeping you living long and healthy. Think about that. Your immune system is like an internal army. When it sees invaders, viruses, and bacteria and things like that coming in, it knows how to fight for you, but you have to give your body what it needs to fight for you. You got to keep your body built up. And when you talked about that soil being depleted, meaning you can eat all the fruits and vegetables that you'd like, but see, the vitamins and minerals don't, the minerals particularly do not necessarily come from the fruit or the vegetable. They come from the soil in which it's grown in. And if the soil is depleted, so is the food that we're eating. And this is why we are eating and starving, eating and gaining weight, and eating and overweight. Eating and obese, eating and on diabetes, eating and dealing with high blood pressure. And one of the common things that's going on in our country right now is Alzheimer's. It's like running rampant like a common cold. I'm like, where did that come from? Why are we catching Alzheimer's?
I mean, whatever happened to eating, enjoying your food, and being happy and healthy? You know, it's always eating and something bad.
Yes.
But we have to get back to living life to the fullest and enjoying our food while we do it.
And in balance, you know, eating in balance. Yeah.
Exactly. That's another thing, which is my 80-20. You have to balance it out. If you deny yourself of the things you love, because people come up with new types of food and dishes and
like
snacks,
product.
and snacks every day. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't want to try it, because I will probably try it. But you know,
you can't do it every day for every meal.
Exactly. And I have to know what it is I'm trying. Read the back. You know, people do not read the back of the box anymore.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for. Granted, half the time I'm not even sure whether they're telling the truth, because, you know, sometimes they label things, you know, organic or gluten-free. And I'm just like, well, okay. But, you know, but sometimes...
natural.
Exactly. But sometimes it's just good to see the sodium content. Like, I remember I used to beg for Lunchables when I was in school, and she would never let us have Lunchables. And I remember her saying, why? She said, was it like 1,000 milligrams of sodium in a Lunchable?
See the sodium content in this food?
Yeah.
And we're giving it to our children every day for lunch, and wondering why our children now in our country are coming down with adult-type diseases. Think about that. Children with high blood pressure, children, you know, with diabetes, children, you know, with arthritis, children.
ADD and ADHD is running rampant.
Yeah. Food lovers, you know, what we're sharing today is something that we want you to just consider, take into consideration. You know, as a vision expert, we shine the light. That's my responsibility, to shine the light on your lifestyle, just so that you can see it clearly, absolutely, and make you think and be more conscious, be a conscious eater instead of an unconscious eater. When you're an unconscious eater, you don't plan for your meals. You know you have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you know you like to snack in between. When you don't prepare for that, you eat what's available.
Grab, you know, go stop here, stop there.
Yes.
Somebody's offering something.
Yes.
You're gonna grab that. And at the end of the day, if I was to ask you, could you write down everything that you ate today? Could you do it?
You don't even know. You don't even know, because you weren't thinking. You were just trying to fill a need, fill a void. And here's the deal: you were eating and starving, eating and craving, because you're eating. If the food is void of nutrition, you're not satisfying the longing of the body, of the cells. So you're still craving the next thing. Can't wait to the next meal. Snacking in between eating, and most of the snacks are sugar, donuts, soda, you know, candy bars, things like that, that really just send your emotions all over the place, send your cravings all over the place. It's just a vicious cycle. When we serve clients, we start at the beginning, you know, breaking things down, helping them be more conscious about what they're putting into their mouths, be more conscious of their day. So what's a great tip? What's maybe even an assignment assignment that we can give the food lovers today. Maybe just assess what you're eating today. You know, write down what you're eating today. Just no judgment. Don't judge it. Don't try to get healthy today because we said it, right? Don't say, well, oh my God, I gotta eat this apple. No, if you don't eat fruits and vegetables, just observe. Right now today, just be the observer of your life. What are you putting in your mouth? You just want to observe because you want to see where you are. No judgment. Do not judge it. Do not judge it, because this is a great point, a great place to be. And you are starting when you begin to observe. After a while, you're going to get to the place. You know what? This is crazy.
Or you'll get to the place where something was bothering you physically, and you wrote down everything you ate for a week, and you realized that maybe you had a certain habit, like, hey, after I drink this coffee, I feel a little weird. I mean, that happened to me, I'll say about a year ago. I bought this new protein, shake mix. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to, buff up. I'm gonna drink this, and I'm gonna work out for like an hour. But every time I drank it, I felt like I couldn't breathe, or I felt bloated and just, shoulders. I felt weird. So I didn't read, the back of the bag and realize that it was dairy in it. So it's just one of those things, like, you just watch what you eat, and you'll just begin to notice things about your body. Simple things.
Yeah. And they're so simple, like you said, and so subtle. You really got to pay attention to find these little hidden things that are in the food, to find the subtle ways that your body responds, like that nagging headache. You may notice that the headache is minimal on one day, and then when you do this thing or eat this thing, the headache is, at its full bloom. Just those subtle changes, you'll be able to tweak your own diet and end up with a diet that is conducive for your lifestyle, something that works for you. Everybody's unique. We don't have 7 steps to this and 3 steps to that and 10 days to this and 30 days to that.
We're not perfect in the least.
No. We stay focused on what our body is saying. Your body is talking to you every day. Your body is talking. If you wake up with a headache, your body is talking to you. 9 times out of 10, you're dehydrated. Okay? If you're eating and your feet are swelling, your body is talking to you. Don't do that again. Or that's not good for you. Or that's not in alignment with your body type. Think about that.
I think that's one of the main, or if not the biggest, battles of not just food, but just your lifestyle, different problems that you're dealing with, even maybe your relationships with people, is to know yourself. Know your body physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like, just know what you like to do, which is another part. Exactly, which is another part of this series. Is just, I may not know a lot, about where my life is going or where I'm gonna end up, or the people that I'm gonna meet. But I know I like food, books, and movies, and wine, and I love the theater. So I just, and those things bring me joy.
Yes.
Which makes my life better. And even when I am, working, it doesn't feel like work.
Yes.
Because I'm doing what I enjoy / love to do. So I think that's what my main goal is for this, for these postings, the series, is to just really show people through some of the things that I enjoy to do, is that you need to get to know yourself.
Yes.
No one's going to tell you who you are, or who you're going to be, or who you need to be, or where you need to go. You need to find out for yourself. And I'm still
finding out.
Some days I wake up and I'm like, I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, who the heck is this? Like, I just, and it's like, I have to renew my mind daily. And if I don't, I know that day is going to be like a crazy, I'm all over the place, like, Mom, please help me, please. There have been plenty of times where the party. So I host tasting parties.
At tastingelegance.com.
Yeah, a couple of times a year. And I think maybe it was the first or second tasting party things were a little crazy as far as the planning process, and they weren't going the way I wanted them to go. And I just pulled up at her house, and she was still in the car outside, and my little brother was in the passenger seat, she was in the driver's seat, and I just opened his door and like fell on top of him. I was just, Ma, please. I was like, Ma, please lay your hands on me and pray for me. I was like, do something, coach me. I was like, I don't know what to do. So it's like,
do something with my mind.
It's like, do something with me, please. Because I was going crazy. I couldn't get my mind. If there's one thing you need to know about, I'm a very focused person. I take things seriously, sometimes too serious. I'm an overthinker. I plan. And so sometimes I just have to slow it down and catch myself. But you have to keep every day, like when you wake up, just say, you know, maybe do an affirmation or something. Keep yourself focused throughout your day. What are you going to accomplish that day? You know? So that's what this
the web series
is going to be about. So my mom came over here today because we were going to, you know, shoot videos and stuff like that. We didn't know what the heck we were doing, but I called her, and because she was late. She's always late coming to something that I want her to do. So I called her on the phone, and she happened to be outside. I was making some bacon, and I said, hey, where are you? She's like, oh, I'm outside. I was going to ask her, did she want some bacon? And then she happens to come in the house with this box, and she has all this food in this box, and I was in the kitchen making food. I had a tasting last night with the bride. I'm doing a wedding coming up, and I do food tastings, you know, for my clients to see what they like, what they don't like, so that I can curtail the menu for them. And I was just going to heat up some of the food that I had left over from last night, let my mom try it. But she had, what did you have? You had hibiscus tea.
I had hibiscus because, see, as a conscious, what do you call it? Consciously eating, you and a person who does that moderation 80-20 rule. Remember I talked about earlier, you have to think ahead. You know you have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you know you like to snack in between, you know you're going to snack in between, right? So start from right now where you are. You know you have to eat whatever time it is you're watching this video, unless it's 9:00 p.m. You know you have to eat the rest of the day. So I had to bring my own food. I knew we would be here, we would be filming, we would be talking about the web series and sharing good content. I hope you're getting rich content from this series. But I also knew that I had to eat. I can't leave my meals to chance. Because when you look around where you are. When you leave school, homework, church, your meeting, or wherever you are, how many healthy options are there for you to enjoy a healthy meal? You don't have that, so you have to take your health into your own hands. So I'm a conscious eater, so I bring my meals with me. Now, last night I made some hibiscus tea. My younger son and I, we love hibiscus tea, so I put lemon in there, fresh lemon juice, and I chopped up some ginger in there, and I let it sit for a while, and I really enjoyed that. No sweetener was in there. I mean, it was fantastic. It was so good. He asked me, could he take some for school today? So he pulled out his little mug, and he was like, did you make my tea? Because he was running a little late. Did you make my tea? So you know how Carrington is. So I made the tea, and he actually took it for lunch. So instead of him drinking all of these sugary drinks and juices for lunch, and he's been doing this for a while, he'll take, and here's a tip. If you want to be a conscious eater, he takes a water bottle, drinks them down, and he puts his favorite tea bags in there with no sweetener. If he's going to use a sweetener, he's going to use something like you said, agave nectar or some raw honey or something like that. And it's such a better option for our children when they're going to school. Coconut sugar is fantastic. And the thing about it is 1-to-1, meaning if you used to use, let's say you're baking, you used to use a cup of sugar in your baking ingredients, then you could use a cup of coconut sugar, because sometimes people think when they use natural sweeteners that they have to use more.
Because no, it's a natural sweetener. Like sometimes you use less.
Yes.
Sometimes you use the same, but I don't think I've ever used more. It's compared to regular cane white sugar. Yes. So these are some of the things that we did. So last night I made the hibiscus tea, and he took it for school today, and he really enjoyed it. He was supposed to drink, so I made a cup for him to drink, and he texted me like when he was almost to school. He was like, Mom, I left my hibiscus tea on the table. Can you wrap it up for me? So I had already done that, but he's really in, you got to teach your children how to be healthy. This is arming them.
for having a healthy body and living a long, productive life.
When you're healthy, you feel
Yes.
better.
Yes.
And when you feel better, you're able to make other changes in your life. I mean, eating healthy isn't just about, oh, I want to be a certain size
Yes.
or
Absolutely.
something like that. Eating healthy is just, it affects pretty much
everything.
Because, okay, so like, okay, take this. If you're unhealthy, you're sick, you miss work, that messes up your money. And say if you're married, you know, your spouse is looking at you like, where's the money? You're supposed to bring home the money. And that causes issues between the two of you. And your kids are looking at you like...
Or think about if the mom is sick. The whole house is shut down. If the mom is sick and she can't function, think about that.
So it's affected your money, your family, you know, your job,
creativity,
your kids. You can't even think. When I used to get sick, I couldn't do nothing but lay there and look at the TV, pretty much. I mean, you're literally missing an action.
Yeah.
You're down for however long it takes that
for the body to recover.
And which is another thing. Why do we think that we have to allow the flu or the cold to run its course? Like, if I feel myself, and that has happened, you know, over the years, if I felt like, oh, my throat or my nose is about to get stopped up, or you know, somebody coughed on me or something, or if I just feel something could possibly develop overnight, which I don't know, like there's something about going to sleep feeling a certain way and waking up and it's like full blown. But if I feel like I could possibly be sick that night or the next day, I'm in that kitchen or I'm calling you and I'm like, Ma, I need some this, I need some that, what should I do for this? I'm drinking tea, you know, garlic, ginger, and lemon. I'm pumping myself up. And it's literally like the next day, I'm good. Why, if I feel myself coming down with a cold, should I just allow that cold to
run its course?
To, you know, stuffy nose, snot bubbles, and coughing.
Spreading germs to everyone else.
Yeah, like that's...
You can't function. You're an entrepreneur. You can't think. Your creative ideas don't flow. You know, you don't feel like it. You got these appointments. You got meetings. You got clients to meet with. You got food to prepare. You can't prepare food for people when you're sick.
I can't. No.
It's just
I will
not
cancel
gonna work.
everything. I will not prepare food when I'm sick. So no, even if you did catch the flu or the cold or have a fever, I don't know what the people get nowadays because I don't get it. But if you caught something, you don't have to allow it to take you out for 2 weeks. Like,
and you prepare food for over 600 people every single week. So you can't afford to be sick. You work at a prominent ballroom and they can call you at any time. You got events all, you know, throughout the week or whatever. You can't afford to be sick. You know, your boss called you and at the last minute she said, we need you to fill in, or we got this party we booked, or this event is coming up and it's 600
and
people.
I say, hey, I can't come because I got a cold.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No. First of all, that's messing up my money, so I ain't trying to get sick. But, you know...
Exactly. So do you see how what you put in your mouth affects everything? See, like you said, I like the way you said it, because we think that, you know, eating food is about being a certain size or trying to, you know, be a certain weight or whatever. What about living longer? What about feeling great? What about being here for your children and your grandchildren?
What about just feeling good? I just want to feel good.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Not just
sometimes.
on certain days or whatever. Like, you know that feeling that you get when it's like Friday and you know you got Saturday and Sunday. Like, why can't we feel like that all? Why do we have to wait for the weekend?
Yeah,
you know?
That's good.
We can't enjoy food and life and people
all week long.
Yeah. I mean, I know people work, you know, 9 to 5, and they do what they have to do to, you know, survive.
But you gotta include you in your life. You can't just keep doing all of these things, doing what you feel like you have to do. I'm just doing what I have to do. Your life is passing you by. When do you get to show up in it?
Yeah.
You talked about that. I mean, you experienced that. I would like for you to even share your experience when you talked about earlier about doing things that bring you joy and make you feel alive. You were working a job that was sucking the life out of you. It had effects on your health. Remember I said your body talks back to you. We got to pay attention to what the body is saying. Her body was speaking so loud, it was ridiculous.
I graduated from college in New York, came home, took a couple months off just to relax or whatever, and got a job in a restaurant. I was not in the kitchen. I got a job in, front of the house staff, because I thought that's what I wanted to do. I thought I was done with the kitchen. It was too hectic. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll come out here with the people. Well, two things. I realized that I don't necessarily like people that much to be in the front of the house and, chit-chatting and serving tables.
You gotta have a personality.
Yeah,
for that.
and I mean, I have a personality, but I don't think it's the right one. I'm supposed to be in the kitchen. So, second thing, because of that, I was miserable. Because I was not working in my gift and my passion, my joy, I was miserable. And for me personally, when I am unhappy, I get sick. And when I mean sick, I don't mean the flu or the cold. I deal with symptoms of PCOS, very hormonal, different things.
Hair falling out, acne.
Yeah. So, because of that, I had to quit my job. I was out for about 6 months. I was down, like,
But talk
in the
about
house.
what happened immediately after you quit that job. Within days.
Within days, I don't know. I just felt like a weight had lifted off of me. Yes, I was taking, supplements and trying to get better, but I just mentally, I just felt better, and which helped me to realize that
You gotta stay in your lane.
yeah, I can't do something that I am not happy doing because I can't function. I really can't function. And it's not good for me. It's not good for me mentally or physically. It's not even good for me with interacting with, my family. I was
very edgy,
Yeah,
very straight and to the
snapping
point.
and- yeah.
No time for fun. Jokes weren't
yeah,
funny.
it was literally like wake up, go to work, come back home, turn the TV on, go
As
to
soon as
sleep.
she walked through the door, we're trying to embrace her with love. Come and sit down and eat. Let me tell you what happened today. She was like, no, I ain't got time for that. I'm so tired. I just got to get in the bed because I got this project to do tomorrow. I got this and that and the other to do. And I need to go to sleep at a certain time because I got to get up at a certain time, be back. And, what kind of life is that?
It's not a life.
It's not a life.
I don't know what it was, but it wasn't a life.
Yeah.
And it was. It took its toll.
We have to remember that we are, how can I say it? We are a combination of things. We're emotional, like you said, we're spiritual, we're physical, we're social, we're intellectual. And anything that affects any of those areas affects all of the other areas.
It does.
Would you agree?
It's not one thing. It's all connected. You know what I mean?
That's why we can't just focus on, when you're trying to lose weight, just focus on the food. It could be that you're sad.
It could be.
It could be that you're out of alignment, or you're not operating in your gift, or you're in the wrong lane, or you're in the wrong relationship, or you're not in a good enough relationship, or you're exposed to something that you shouldn't be exposed to, or you're not doing what you should be doing.
Which is why this series is called Lifestyle of a Food Lover. I'm a food lover, but I have a certain lifestyle, and I have things that I like to enjoy, like to do, like to be exposed to. There are people that I like to be around.
Yes.
It's so much, that I want to share in this series and in these postings.
That's why you need to come back. If you're getting something from this web series, Lifestyle of a Food Lover, trust me, there is so much more. This is nothing what we're sharing with you today compared to what we have to share with you. It's so many things. We're going to be posting regularly these videos. Come back. Sit down with a cup of tea. You made a fantastic cup of tea today, and just watch the
I
web
messed
series.
it up because we were cooking. Well, I didn't even finish the story about you bringing your food. See, that's what happens. She talks a lot. So before I get into that, but I made my friend introduced me to this ginger lemon tea that he found in the market, and I was making some tea when she got here, but I was making eggs at the same time. So my boiling water, I cracked the egg in the pan that was next to the boiling water, and then I had the shells, and I went over top of the boiling water and then realized that some of the
egg white, got in the hot water and actually fried the egg.
Yeah, had cooked the eggs. So I poured the water in my teacup.
And then we saw this white strip in the pot, and I was like, did she boil water on top of a fried egg?
So I had, you know, egg white, ginger, and lemon tea today, but it was good.
It was
you know,
good.
so I got in some extra eggs. But anyway, she came over. She had her hibiscus tea. She had some quinoa
That I had made yesterday with some salmon. I just wanted you to try because we're always making things and trying to get each other to try what we made. So I brought that.
What do you want to call your dessert? You gotta give your name a dessert.
Well,
it looked okay. So when she brought it in the bowl, it looked like
Don't say it. Don't say it. It was not pleasant to the eye.
So she can't really cook, but sometimes she'll make something and it's like really good. And I'm like, where the heck did this come from? But we gotta work on your presentation,
Right?
Because she brought. It looked like let me
mush. Just say mush.
Yes, brown
Mush.
slop. It looked like brown slop, but it was really good brown slop.
Fantastic.
So we're gonna call it Mom's brown slop.
And I can cook. I don't cook. I prefer to prepare my food because, you know, being health conscious, I understand clearly food in its natural state is its healthiest. So when I do cook, you know, I can get in there and do some things. But I don't normally cook. I bake. And
she bakes and she burns. She bakes and burns and dehydrates and yeah.
So what I brought today, I woke up this morning, I had a taste for some chocolate. Like I said, I love chocolate, but it has to be the right chocolate because I refuse to sabotage. It's just ridiculous. We have too many options available today to sabotage, to consistently sabotage our wellness goals. So you just gotta go the extra mile, stretch a little bit, and find some healthier options. So I remember that I had some cacao powder, chocolate cacao powder downstairs on the table, and I had some frozen bananas. I always freeze bananas, you know, when making my smoothies or whatever. And I was like, you know, I had a taste for some chocolate, and I know that I can only have certain types of chocolate. So I go downstairs, I pulled out my frozen bananas, threw them in my NutriBullet, and poured the cacao powder in there with some almond milk, and I made my own little chocolate. It almost tastes like a chocolate pudding. It was delicious. I was just eating it right out of the NutriBullet container, right? But I took some regular bananas. They weren't frozen. Just took them off the table, cut 2 of them up in the bowl because I knew I was coming here. And I was like, "Oh, Chrissy, this is good." I said, "I'm gonna share this with Chrissy when I get there."
But she didn't know that I had food that I wanted to share with her
you know, we were both preparing food to come, you know, to enjoy.
Yeah.
We're food lovers.
I made
we are food
turkey
lovers.
bacon. I made some eggs,
green beans.
Oh yeah, I had the tasting last night, so I had some green beans that I had made, some Cajun chicken breast, some turkey bacon,
kale Caesar salad.
Oh my gosh, kale Caesar.
And you said the bride loved that.
Yes.
When we were at the tasting
that was her
experience.
favorite thing at the tasting. And she was very surprised because she wasn't sure. She picked it. I gave her some options of different salads that I could do. And she picked the kale Caesar salad. So she wasn't sure whether she would like it or not, but it was her favorite thing. She thought it was going to taste,
like greens with neck bones.
Yeah. But she was pleasantly surprised. So yeah, kale Caesar salad. What else was?
We had quinoa. Well, I brought the quinoa.
Yeah, the quinoa.
And you had green beans. We sprinkled bacon bits on top of that.
Yeah,
you had Cajun chicken.
Cajun chicken breast, which was another thing from the tasting last night. You did try. We took photos of everything that we're going to
show you the photos right here.
Yeah, we're going to share. But I also did some herb roasted potatoes last night. I let her try those. We didn't take a photo of that, but she took a spoonful. She spit it out. And I don't want the carbs. I'm like, okay.
When you make a decision that you're going to eat a certain way, you got to stick to it.
Yes.
Now, because we're foodies, I will try certain things, but I won't consume them. You know, you just have, and it's not being crazy. I'm not anorexic or anything like that. You just have to stick to your goals, and you know, you find a way. You find a way to make it happen. So the dessert that I made, I had a taste for some chocolate, so I made the chocolate syrup, not really syrup, but the chocolate topping that I wanted to, because all I needed was my chocolate mush. Yeah. So all I needed was a taste of chocolate on my dessert. So I sliced the bananas, put them in a big bowl for 2, and I put fresh raspberries on top. I put walnuts in there with it, and just to add some omega-3s, you know, those healthy oils, I sprinkled some chia seeds on top of that.
Those chia seeds?
Those were chia seeds.
Oh.
Those were chia seeds really good for your
yeah.
joints, your skin, your hair, your nails, all that good stuff. Healthy omega-3 oil. So remember that CHIA. You can find it in the health food store. Chia seeds. They are powerful for omega-3s, omega-3 fatty acids. So I sprinkled that in, and then I poured the chocolate mixture. The chocolate mixture, again, was nothing but frozen bananas, the cacao powder, and some almond milk. And then I poured that over the fruit. We have pictures, I'm gonna show it to you, but it was so fantastic. And it satisfied the chocolate appetite that I had.
It was sweet just enough to kill your craving,
Yes.
but it wasn't overly sweet.
Exactly.
Where it's like, oh my gosh, like what is in this?
Yes,
but
yes.
it was satisfying.
Yes.
And sometimes you just want to eat and you leave the table and you're satisfied, which is what I said when we finished. We had, little small plates, and
Yes.
we tried everything. I tried some of her stuff, she tried some of my stuff, and I didn't get the itis. I wasn't, lethargic or bloated or felt like I was gonna pass out. But I got up, I was like,
Didn't
all right.
have to unbutton your belt.
Exactly. Or I didn't pop this shirt. But because there's a zipper in the back. But I got up from the table, before we started recording this, and I was like, "Ma, can I just go to sleep?" And it wasn't because I had the itis. It was because I was satisfied. I felt good that I just wanted to go and chill, just go, lay down, maybe watch TV, it felt good.
It did. The food was tasty because, see, food lovers, I want you to understand something. It's not the food that you love, it's how the food is prepared and what's put on the food that we love.
That is,
if you really loved pig feet, why aren't you out there chasing those pigs on the farm?
Yeah, just
their
chop
ankles?
that leg off and just eat the feet. Eat the pig feet.
Because we don't love pig feet. We love how people prepare pig feet.
You like maybe the water or the stock that is boiled in. I don't know how to do
And fat has a lot of fat. I don't know either because I've never eaten foot.
The fact that it's a foot, I just can't eat a foot. I go in, different markets and I see the cow tongue, and my grandma used to make cow tongue.
Yes.
And I just the tongue and the foot, and I know I said you gotta try stuff.
Yes,
but
we
try healthy stuff. Try healthy stuff in different forms. Try alternatives. What is the alternative to a pig foot?
Oh my mind.
I just don't. I don't know, but yeah, it really is the preparation of the particular food item that you love.
And you use dynamite seasonings and spices and marinades and things
Yeah,
like that
mix
to
up
bring
some
out
stuff.
the essence of the food.
Sometimes I read recipes and it'll say salt and pepper. And I'm already looking at it like, this is not gonna taste good. Just salt and pepper. Now, sometimes salt and pepper does its job, but if you're trying to compensate for a craving or something like that,
you gotta go over the top.
Yeah, throw some basil, some oregano in there. Get into fresh herbs and the seasoning mix. Sometimes Mrs. Dash or those seasoning mixes, watch for the sodium content and stuff like that. But just a mix would suffice.
Even though the dessert that I brought over, I call it dessert because it was just food and cacao powder, which is chocolate and almond milk. Even though it was really, really good, when I got here, because she's a private chef, she sprinkled some mint, some fresh mint on my dessert.
Well, I sprinkled the mint on it because I was trying to make it look appetizing.
Other than mush.
Yes. Because like I said, we took photos of, the different things that we made today, and if you would like more information about those, you can contact me through KristenMaries.com. But we took photos because we wanted to share, but I had to add the mint because I was plating her mush, and it was just like mush, and I couldn't make it look right.
It was the chocolate topping that made it look like mush. Everything else was great. It was defined. You could see the fruit, you could see the raspberries, the banana, the walnuts, and the chia seeds. But when I started, like I said, I'm not into presentation. She's a chef. When I just poured the chocolate all over it, and it's just like chocolate mush. But I'm telling you, it was fantastic.
Maybe left the fruit home.
Drizzle.
Yeah, we could have did that. But I just took some fresh mint just to maybe add some color to all the mush looking stuff. And you said the mint added a nice little, a fresh, taste to that.
And mint is very good for digestion.
It's good for that. I added to, just last night I made some tea just hot water. Well, I won't call it tea. I made hot water, some lemon. I put some lemon juice in it, and some of the sprigs of mint that I had in my fridge. And I don't know. Sometimes, well, most of the times in the morning and at night, I just like to have a cup of hot tea with lemon. I may add in a tea bag, maybe a chai tea bag, or whatever tea I have in it. But just that, it just feels kind of like I don't know, flushing. I feel clean with lemon water. It just feels good.
Yes.
So if you can't do it without you need it to be sweet or something like that, add in some honey or agave nectar
and just a little bit. You don't need as much as you think you do. So just a little bit.
See, try to see how much sugar you actually need or how much sweetness you actually need in your food. I've been out where I've seen, just last week I had an event I cooked for, and the guy got his plate, he sat down, and I was watching him. I normally don't watch the people as they eat because I'm nervous, but I was watching him, and before he even took a bite of his food, he just started sprinkling salt all over his food. Now, I'm not trying to gloat or anything, but that food did not need any more salt. It was seasoned and everything, because people came up to me exactly. So I think we need to figure out how much salt or how much sugar or sweetness or sodium we need in our food. Sometimes maybe just take a cup of tea, no sugar, and gradually add in honey or agave or fruit juice or something, and just keep adding it until it gets to a certain place where you're like, hey, I can drink this tastes good, and then compare it to what you would normally do.
And you'll see that you don't need as much as you think you do. Also, the more you eliminate sugar from your diet, you realize you don't need as much sweetener.
Not only that, you will see that you're able to think clearly. Weight will just fall off just by eliminating sugar from your diet.
Weight just melts off like butter.
It does.
Yeah, so
just like Grandpa said.
We can stop the insanity trying to lose weight. Because what most people are doing? They're eating, they're unconsciously and trying to lose weight. They're not conscious eaters. They have no discipline. There are no boundaries. They're just eating whatever and trying to lose weight. When you eat right and you become conscious, you can eat and lose weight. They go together. You can eat and be healed. They go together. You don't have to eat and pop pills because you just ate your food, which is your medicine. That's the beauty of eating healthily, eating and finding what works for you. Eating in tune with your body. Your body is so unique. It is as unique as your fingerprint. Think about that. What works for your body's systems, what program works. When I say program, I'm talking about your eating regimen and lifestyle. What works for you is so unique. It is as unique as your fingerprint. That's how unique it is. So you have to get in tune with it by listening, paying attention, being more conscious, and having the discipline to love you more.
It's something as simple as she'll add in flaxseed, chia seeds, and all this other stuff into her food, and I'm looking at it like, that looks like little bugs. I can't do that, but I know that it's beneficial to my body, so I just have to find another way to incorporate it into my diet.
So you don't have to
I gotta maybe hide it from myself or something like that. Everybody's lifestyle and everybody's diet is going to be
choices and likes and dislikes. All of that stuff is different.
Exactly.
That's why it's important to have a health coach. I'm a certified health coach. I help my clients see a lot of this wellness stuff is mindset. Like you say, you have to find a way to get it in and trick yourself and all that. A lot of this health stuff and trying to lose weight and get healthy, all of it has to do with our mind, because how we do one thing is how we do everything. If you're struggling in the area of your health, you're probably struggling in the same area in the areas of your finances and relationships and all kinds of things. So you really don't have a lot of problems. You have one problem affecting a lot of areas, and that's why I host that free wellness conference called One Solution. OneSolution.theattractivethinker.guru to sign up for that free monthly wellness conference call, where we break it down and make it real plain and simple and give you simple solutions, food lover, so that you can fall in love with your food again.
We're here to give you options, pretty much. It's okay not to know, like I said earlier, because I don't know. I don't. I don't know about life. I'm at that age where I'm questioning everything, I'm exploring and stuff like that, but we're just here to show you that there's more than one way to eat, live,
to reach your goals,
work, you know,
to be successful.
Yeah, to elevate your thinking. There's more than one way.
There's more than one way, and to start that way, you have to start with you. You have to start aligning your life with the things that bring you joy. How do you expect to be happy doing things that don't bring you joy? Doing things that make you unhappy.
Yourself
Outside of
else.
yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what most people do. They keep acquiring things thinking it's going to make them feel better. Listen, food lover, you're amazing, fantastic, and incredible all by yourself, just the way you are, with what you do or do not have.
Well, we were closing out the show, but we had some technical difficulties. So now we're the camera never did that before. Never
ever did that before. Updating, file management. Please wait for a moment. We've had that camera for years at all kinds of baseball games and sports events and graduations, and the camera never did that before. So this is a perfect example of
life. And how I don't like it sometimes.
And how you gotta roll with it,
so
right?
So we're now on my phone, and we'll have to
edit.
Yeah.
We'll have to edit the
video. You mean you'll have to edit, because I don't know how to do it. But I guess we just want to close out with
thank you for joining us. That's a great place to start. And thank you for joining us. We trust that you've
enjoyed seeing us and learning about us, and being exposed to just some of the things that we mentioned earlier today,
and receive value.
Exactly.
That's
what we always
thing,
want to give to you is value. So we hope you join us again. These clips won't be this long, so
yes. This is the intro. We wanted you guys to understand clearly who you were talking, well, not talking to, but who you're looking at, who you're viewing. Why should you come back to the web series, and what we're all about and the value that we bring.
Yeah, some clips may just be me showing you this great new restaurant that I found, and like some of the stuff that you should try. So check me out on Facebook at Krista Marie's LLC, or on my website, KristaMaries.com. And you can check out my mother at the attractivethinker.guru. It's such a weird word, guru.
The attractivethinker.guru. Yes.
Or on Facebook.
Yes.
The Attractive Thinker.
Yes, the Attractive Thinker. We do have a fan page. Would love to hear from you. If you received any good content, any good value from this video, if you feel as though this was really encouraging, inspiring, motivating to you, and gave you the tools that you need to move forward in your life, please post right below this video. Post your comments here, or go visit our fan pages and post there. We would love to connect with you, and we want to encourage you to stay tuned to the next episode of Lifestyle of a Food Lover web series. Again, I'm Dr. Toni Hatton at theattractivethinker.guru, and this is Private Chef Kristen
Hatton at KristaMaries.com.
Bye.
Was I supposed to say bye?
Say bye to the food
lovers. Food lovers.